This is Turkmenistan, a country with natural resources worth billions of dollars, yet it still suffers from poverty and an eerie silence. It is a land of vast deserts, shining marble cities, and golden statues. But behind this glitter lies a terrifying truth: hunger, fear, and one of the most repressive dictatorships in the modern world. Turkmenistan should have been one of the richest countries on Earth today, because it holds the world's fourth largest natural gas reserves, nearly 13.6 trillion cubic meters. That is enough gas to light up entire continents for years.
Naturally, one might think its 7.6 million citizens must be living lives like those in Kuwait or Qatar. But the reality is the opposite. Salaries are low, prices are high, there are frequent food shortages, and inflation eats up whatever savings people manage to keep. Seeing all this, a simple question arises. How did a country so rich in resources end up in such a miserable state? To understand, we must look beyond the marble buildings and golden statues. The answer lies in Turkmenistan's history, geography, and the leaders who ruled it. Leaders who built a system designed to benefit only the elite, never the people.
This country sits on a treasure of gas, yet ordinary people work day and night just to afford basic meals. First, let's understand Turkmenistan's location. It sits at the center of Central Asia. To the north is Kazakhstan, to the east Uzbekistan, southeast Afghanistan, south Iran, and to the west the Caspian Sea. Most of its land is covered by the massive Karakum Desert, with only a few scattered patches of water, thanks to the Amu Darya River flowing in from Afghanistan. The rest of the country is barren sand, rocky terrain, and wind-carved hills.
Summers here are extremely hot and dry, while winters are bone-freezing. But beneath this harsh and empty land lies immense wealth: oil, minerals, and the world's third-largest gas reserves. Because of this, Turkmenistan's location has always been important. For thousands of years, it was a meeting point of empires and civilizations. The Silk Road passed right through here, connecting China to the Middle East and Europe. Goods, ideas, cultures, and armies all passed through. Persians, Arabs, Mongols, and later Russians came and left their mark, taking something valuable each time. But the deepest impact came from the Soviet Union.
When the Russian Empire became the Soviet state, Turkmenistan fell under its control. By 1920, it had become one of the USSR's remote states directly ruled from Moscow. Factories and pipelines were built, and new cities began rising from the desert. On paper, it looked like progress, but none of it was for the people of Turkmenistan. The goal was only to fuel Soviet industries. Gas, cotton, and raw materials were shipped out, while all decisions and money came from Moscow. By the 1980s, Turkmenistan had become a silent, forgotten corner of the Soviet Union. When the USSR collapsed in 1991, the world changed overnight. But Turkmenistan didn't. The same officials stayed in power. They just changed the flag and called it independence. The man behind this was Saparmurad Niyazov, later known as Turkmenbashi, leader of the Turkmen people. He won elections with 99% of the vote, built golden statues of himself, renamed months after his family, and made his book Ruhnama mandatory for jobs, schools, even driving licenses. While he built marble palaces, people stood in long lines for bread. When Niyazov died in 2006, hope flickered. But his successor, Gurbanguly Berdimuhamedov, created his own cult. He called himself Arkadog, the Protector. State TV showed him riding horses, shooting guns, and unveiling bizarre golden monuments, even a 50-foot statue of a dog. Meanwhile, food shortages worsened, freedom vanished, journalists disappeared, VPNs were illegal. The internet became one of the slowest and most censored in the world. And in 2022, the presidency was simply handed to his son, Serdar. Different face, same system. Father and son now rule together, their portraits hanging side by side. Outside the capital, life is even harsher. Rationed bread, long queues, empty hospitals, failing schools. Nearly 800,000 people face extreme food insecurity. Corruption controls everything, jobs, business, even who can leave the country. But the world stays silent because Turkmenistan sits on one of the largest natural gas fields on Earth. China relies heavily on Turkmen gas and shields the regime from pressure. Russia does the same for its own strategic interests. So the rulers stay in power, hiding poverty behind white marble cities and golden statues. Billions flow from gas exports, but almost none reaches the people. Turkmenistan could have been a success story. Instead, silence became a way of survival, a country peaceful on the surface but lifeless underneath. If this story opened your eyes, share it with others. Take care.